All right, we have a bizarre story. Do you guys know about this? This is like cop on cop. This is a sheriff's department deputy getting into it with an Orlando police officer. This is, hey, Andrew, we want to get this whole video up on our website. So, folks, I want to tell you the story.
I wonder if I've seen this one.
Well, it's fresh. This just popped out. This just came out. So we're going to put the video up on mjmorningshow.com on videos mentioned. So it'll be up shortly. This is out of Seminole County. An Orlando police officer has been relieved of duty after video has emerged of him being pulled over for speeding. So you've got a Seminole County Sheriff's Office deputy pulling over an Orlando police officer in a marked Orlando police cruiser, in a Ford Explorer police interceptor model. So you got one cop car, a sheriff's office car, pulling over another cop car, an Orlando city car. Because the Orlando officer was speeding. Apparently, on radar, was caught doing 80 in a 45. A Seminole County Sheriff's Office arrest report shows Officer Alexander Shawnee was arrested last week for the incident, which happened on June 6th along Florida Avenue, and this is east of State Road 434 in Oviedo. A deputy said he saw a marked Orlando Police Department SUV driving at least 80 in a 45 zone. The deputy had to speed. You can see the deputy makes a U-turn on this road and then goes after the deputy. It's pulling over. It's one police car pulling over another police car. So the deputy's like, where the heck is this Orlando car going? He's not even in the jurisdiction. Where is he going at this speed, 80 in a 45? So the deputy catches up to the SUV. The deputy said they put on their lights, their siren, but the Orlando Police Department vehicle did not pull over. The deputy had to pull their vehicle in front of the SUV to make it clear that the Orlando Police Department SUV needed to stop. Body camera footage shows the deputy get out of the vehicle, met by Shawnee, who got out of his vehicle. He was in a uniform with his name on it. He said he was going to work. When the deputy asked what type of call, he said, look, how am I dressed? What do you think? The deputy said that Shawnee refused to present his driver's license to the deputy, got back into his police SUV and fled the scene, drove off from a police traffic stop.
Oh, that's not good.
Man, this is crazy stuff.
It's a bad look.
The deputy said the officer would not present the license. Hey, we've got the audio. We'll play this here in a second. The Orlando Police Department told News 6 in Orlando yesterday that Shawnee was relieved of duty pending the sheriff's office and the OPD, Orlando Police Department, internal investigation. In the meantime, the Orlando cop facing charges of reckless driving, fleeing and eluding law enforcement, resisting an officer without violence while he's in uniform driving an Orlando police car way over the speed limit. My God, this is nuts. You know, if there are any cops, I'm going to play the audio now. And then if there are any cops that want to weigh in on this, I'd love to hear from police officers. Whether you're on duty, whether you're off duty, whether you're retired. If you want to remain anonymous, you can remain completely anonymous on this. All right, let me play the audio bites here. So this is the deputy chasing after the Orlando officer. Listen to this.
Over 100 miles an hour trying to catch up with this butthead.
So you can hear he's talking about doing something miles an hour trying to catch up to this guy.
He said over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. And he is going with lights and sirens on trying to catch the Orlando police officer.
Over 100 miles an hour trying to catch up with this butthead.
All right. Now
That's called code 3.
Running code, baby. All right, here's the next one.
He's the guy that copied down that bumper number.
Ooh, you can hear.
Yeah, 11070. Pull over. You gonna pull over?
All right, next audio bite. And, of course, this is all body cam.
3113 to 313.
What? I am going into work, my man.
All right, did you hear? He goes, what? So he gets him out of the car. The Orlando cop who's speeding, pulled over by the Seminole County deputy. He says, what? Oh, hang on a second. Wrong one. All right, here we go.
3113 to 313.
What? I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going into work?
Because you're going 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, what are you going
what
to
does
work
it look
for?
like I am dressed for?
What
does it look like I am dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton, and they see your driver's license.
No.
Okay. 3113, copy at 1050. 10-4, I got a city, Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop. It's going to be X-ray Foxtrot 6207, XF 6207. Refuse to stop.
Is that crazy?
It's crazy. This would make a good scene in a movie.
Would not give his driver's license,
Yes.
gets back into his Orlando police cruiser and takes off. And now that officer from Orlando PD is now on leave. They've suspended him right now pending the investigation from IA with both the Seminole County Sheriff's Department and then also the Orlando Police Department.
Well, he was late for work. Was that his excuse? Got to go to work.
I'm headed to work, my man.
You should have said he's on the way to a call or something.
Can I get your driver's license, please? No.
Nope.
I want to grab some calls here. If you're a cop, whether you're on duty, off duty right now, I don't care what, any agency, maybe you're a retired cop, what is your take on that? What is your take on this story of cop chasing cop takes off? All right, 800-990-1047.
I watch a lot of cop videos, MJ, like this.
Let me give the number.
Oh, I thought you did.
Well, once. All right. And I wanted to say, if you want to stay anonymous, that's fine. So if you're a police officer on duty, off duty, you don't have to say what agency you work for. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. If you're retired, that's fine as well. But I'd love to get a police officer's perspective on what you just heard. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 if you're law enforcement. And listen, I don't know how many calls we'll get, but if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. 800-990-1047. Yeah, Frog, go.
I was going to say, I watch a lot of, my YouTube channels, cops pulling over other cops is one of my favorites.
Yep.
And they always say, like, the other cop will be like, hey, man, can you take off your camera or can we work this out? And they always say, hey, it's not like the old days. I had this camera's on all the time. I can't cut you any slack. So cops, I don't think they can cut each other slack anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, I think there's much more oversight. The body cams, again, record everything. So, listen, phones are ringing. I have a couple of calls that are being answered. And can I grab, let me grab line one. We got a retired cop out of Baltimore.
Ooh.
Darren up in Land O'Lakes. Hey, Darren, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. Yeah, that would have went a lot different if that Orlando officer would have used some common sense. There's no brotherhood anymore, number one, but he's getting exactly what he deserves.
I mean, can you believe he refused to hand over the license and then fled from the traffic stop?
Well, he thinks he's above.
Hey, Darren, how long you been retired out of Baltimore?
Almost 20 years.
All right. Did you ever have to pull over another police officer?
I did, many times.
And what were the circumstances?
Just general stuff, and you give the brotherhood when you can, but there was one that was very similar to this, and it did not go well for him.
What happened?
Refused to roll the window down and just put his badge up against the window.
Was it your agency or was it a different police department?
It was a different police department. It was a city police officer.
Wow. And what was the infraction? Why'd you pull him over?
I don't really remember. Probably something minor. Minor traffic violation is all I remember.
It's crazy. Hey, Darren, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
When I think of Baltimore, man, I think of The Wire. What a great Michelle and I watched that whole thing a couple of years ago from start to finish. Wire's fantastic.
It's a good one, huh?
Shannon is in Tampa. Hey, Shannon, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, so what's your background in law enforcement?
So I had 21 years with the state police in Kentucky, and it's full service. They're not highway patrol, so we did a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And, now work out for the past 8 years at our one of our state academy.
All right, so you're working. You're working in Florida at the state academy.
No. I'm down here visiting.
You're just visiting the area from Kentucky. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, some family down here.
All right. So what are your thoughts when you hear that and you hear Seminole County deputy sheriff pulling over an Orlando officer, and you heard how that went? What are your thoughts?
Listen, man, that was that was completely out of line on the officer that was speeding. And here's the thing, and you all know this: we set the example, we enforce the laws, and we got to abide by them. And we all know that. And one of the things we do, and I talk about this to our recruits all the time, we drive too fast. We get from we're going from point A to point B, and there's a lot of accidents with police officers. Over almost half of police officers that are killed every year are killed in automobile accidents, and that's not including other people that get killed or hurt. We got to drive better, and we got to set that standard. And what I heard was completely unprofessional, completely out of line, and it's just unacceptable.
All right, Shannon, what do you think is going to happen to the cop? You think the cop's going to be fired, the Orlando cop, or you think he's just going to get some heavy discipline? What do you think is going to happen once IA investigates?
Well, I think that at a minimum, some pretty heavy discipline there, probably some suspension and things like that. But in the current climate that we live in, I wouldn't be surprised if they did fire him. I mean, it's hard to stand the scrutiny of that with a public that, where we're already suffering with a low level of public trust. I mean, that's something we got to work on in the way we drive. I mean, as visible as we are out here, man, folks don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate getting a ticket when they get the paint sucked off their car by a cruiser that's going by so fast. It's kind of it's a no-brainer.
Shannon, thanks for calling in and enjoy the Tampa Bay area while you're down here from Kentucky. Appreciate it.
I always do. You all take care. Have a great day.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
All right.
A lot of good info there, Shannon.
Yeah. It's interesting. I know a lot of police officers. In fact, let me check my phone. I bet you have texts right now. And I do. It's interesting. Sometimes the local cops are afraid to call in. Even though I say, hey, you don't have to use your name. You don't have to, you can be totally anonymous. Sometimes they don't want their voice heard. Or listen, sometimes we'll get cops that call in. But that's or locals. But that's a crazy story. And you just don't hear about police officer pulling over police officer in two marked cruisers, Just a crazy story.